Alright, it's time for my Dust Factories. These are the 5 legendaries that I think are going to be most likely to become dust if you ever open them up. Congratulations on your free epic if you opened up one of these 5 cards. So, we're going to kick things off with Lanessa Sunsorrow. I'm sorry to say it, guys. A lot of people are excited to see this card. People think that this is going to be a huge improvement to the last Kaleidosaur type decks, but I just don't see it happening. What that deck needed was not another finisher. It already had a finisher in the Galvadon, one that you're guaranteed to get. So what I see more in this card is something that if it ever becomes popular, it will be super, super easy to tech against. If for some reason these last Kaleidosaur, Lanessa Sunsorrow decks ever become good, people are just going to start playing Spellbreaker, and you're going to be pretty sad. So I'm going to give a firm pass on this card. I just don't really see it happening. At number 4, this is one that makes me very sad to say, but Rin, the First Disciple. It's just going to take way too much time and effort to play all these seals. I would be shocked if I ever once saw Azari coming down against me on the competitive ladder. This is a really cool design for a card, but I really think it would still be bad if they made all the seals cost 4. There was probably a design space somewhere in between what they settled on and something broken that they could have placed this card at, such that you would see this get at least a little bit of play. But as things stand right now, I just don't see it happening for Rin. At number 3, we have WokedelR. This card is going to be really good in the All Spells Hunter deck. It'll be one of the best cards in that deck, and really bad in everything else. So if the All Spells Hunter deck is good, this card will not be instant dust. But if the All Spells Hunter deck is bad, which I am more leaning towards, I would maybe give it something like an 80% chance of being not competitive, then WokedelR is just going to be instant dust. At number 2, we have TempuraS. This is a card that I think people were excited about. You know, getting extra turns is pretty cool, but giving an extra turn to your opponent before you get your extra turn just sets up so many disaster scenarios. This card is only good if you're really far ahead of your opponent, and I'm just not in the business of putting cards in my deck that are only good when I'm ahead. I think it's better to have cards in your deck that catch you up when you're behind, not cards that put you more ahead when you're already winning. The one thing I do think that's kind of cool about TempuraS, though, is it's going to set up some interesting decisions in Dragon Priest decks. If you're going to discover this off of like a Netherspite Historian, for instance, there might be a few instances where you say, maybe I am far enough ahead that TempuraS will allow me to close out the game. But I think this is a sort of card that you're never going to want to put in your deck in the first place, so dust. At number 1, we have kind of the marquee card of the set, the king of the kobolds himself, King TogWaggle. This is a super cool design. I love that we can have things in Hearthstone where we're swapping decks with our opponent. But why not make this card a little more playable? If you're going to make it so easy for the opponents to get their decks back, why not put this on at least like a meaningful body? Maybe decrease the cost a little bit, increase the stats a little bit, something like that. Then we'd be looking at a real card here. But as things stand, it's just not going to happen for King TogWaggle. It's too easy for opponents to swap decks back, and the body just really isn't relevant enough. So that's it. Those are my top 5 Dust Factories. My final video is coming up next by cards with the best design from the upcoming set. Stay tuned.